talk about the Bauer line behind me here for a minute. Welcome back to the Building Bugs, by the way. I'm the Max Billy Builds It. And there's a reason I choose Bauer. Obviously, the price point is right. They run promotions all the time. I'm sure if you guys are Bauer fans, you know they run that buy the starter kit. You get a charger, a battery, and then you get to choose a variety of tools. That's how I got this, the battery angle grinder that way. I got the multi-tool. I got this router. I got the pole saw. I got, oh, there's one more here. Let me grab it. Almost forgot. Yeah. I got a bunch of tools. All from that promotion. And you know, you get a 5 amp hour battery, that's not bad. So, battery weed whacker here. Now, if I'm, arguing about this, I don't have a leg in the race on some of this stuff because it's new. This I just got, literally, today. I got a 12 amp hour battery I'm excited to use. With my chainsaw, my angle grinder, some of my more, my vacuum, my more amp drawing things. But some of these tools I've had a long time. I've had this thing, I don't even know how many years, I've done full-on transmission, engine rebuild jobs, countless brakes and rotors and tie rods and swing arms and lower control arms and struts and whatever, lots of mechanic work with these guys. Now, I was almost put off on, sorry, checking on my dogs, but I was almost put off when I first got these because I had two things go wrong when I first got Bauer, but I'm glad I stuck it out. Because the battery it came with, right, not these 5 amp hour ones, I got enough batteries to run every one of these tools at one time if I want it. It's awesome because they run so many deals. But the one that came with it, the little guy, the 1.2 or whatever they are, amp hour, the plastic housing here on the back, the button, broke. And it broke early. And I don't even think I dropped it. It just wouldn't come off and it snapped, right? Almost made me rethink Bauer. And on top of that, this plastic broke on the little button here that goes back and forth. Now it's been broke for years like that. All I did was put a little screw in there. Granted, I could have done a little better, but it's worked and it continues to work. And this thing has done tons of work too. I don't have the Bauer drills, impact drill, regular drill. I only have the mechanic ones. I do have rigid drills I've had for a long time. So you see over here, rigid over here. That's my only rigid tools. Used to have a rigid saw, but it burned out after 2 years, I think. Using it on the job regularly. But these are all right. I'm not a fan of the rigid framing gun. We'll see if it works better this summer. But I've got that thing, hoping to be able to use it on this cabin behind you that you're filming from. Probably should have shot with that in the background, showing you guys what I've done with all these tools. But there's a little cabin back here I've been building for me and my wife. And I got that gun hoping to be able to use it this winter, and not have to run my compressor because I didn't have a very good one. And me and my wife were working on selling our house, so I was remodeling our house in Bauer and getting that ready to sell, and on a budget because until we sold, we had no money, So it's another reason I went with Bauer. Now that we've sold, I've been able to, buy a beautiful tractor to help us clear land here and build here. And these Bauer tools have done amazing. This chainsaw, I've had it, I don't even know, 3-4 months, something like that. And I have cut so much wood with it already. And you can run one of these 5 amp hour batteries on this thing until you're out of oil, pretty much. Or honestly, you probably get a couple takes of oil out of it. I've been really surprised. As long as your teeth are sharp, this thing's not bad. You can't force it through. It's not a Lamborghini, but I'm hoping that this 12 amp hour battery might give me a little more oomph. We'll see. But awesome tool. Use the heck out of it. The pole saw I've used a little bit. That vacuum I've had for a couple years, and I've used the crap out of it. The Sawzall works like a dog. Again, it's not a Milwaukee fuel. It's just a cheap. What did these cost? 20-something bucks, and I've used it for years. And as long as you're a little bit patient, you got good blades. It's done a ton of work for me. The jigsaw I've used in necessary occasions, and it's worked fantastic. This multi-tool was, I think, is super simple and stout. It works great. The tuning on it is very, I would say, like easy to use and works well. It's got a good range of speeds. Pretty universal. The router. A lot of these tools I got in anticipation of building this cabin. Milo, be nice, buddy. Play nice. Come here. Come here. And haven't used them yet, but there's projects intended for them here. So as you follow along, you can do that too. And this grease gun I mainly got for my new tractor because there's a crap ton of grease zerks all over the loader and the back, the 3-point and underneath. But it'll make it easier mechanically too. I won't be trying to pump a thing the whole time. The circular saw. This little one. It broke when I bought this in a pinch when my rigid went down. And I was in Utah on a job. I live in Indiana now, but it broke, but it still works just fine. Like, you can still lock it plenty reasonably, and that's the only, I dropped that. That was my fault, but this one had more. This one's older, the little one. The bigger one I got again because I knew I was going to be doing a lot more work, and that little one struggles with certain stuff. I got a big radio alarm, so if I have to use it, but this one, I think it's great. Fresh battery, cuts for a good while, good blade. You're not burning up your bat. Any saw will struggle if you got a bad blade with keeping the battery life. So, yeah, the weed whacker, literally haven't used it yet. That's for the future. I just wanted more batteries and another tool because I know eventually I'm going to have a yard here, and it's dirt now, but it never hurts to plan. So, yeah, anyways, hopefully that helped. I think, when you're getting these tools for half price or less, the angle grinder, I can't even imagine what it would cost in Milwaukee. I don't even want to look at it. And then you're talking the batteries on top of that. This battery, a 5-amp-hour battery in Milwaukee, especially if you get a fuel one, which anybody in the comments, let me know. Let me grab a couple of my batteries, because a lot of people don't know this, but if you look at these Bauer batteries, there's different ones. And I notice a pretty significant difference, I would say, in here we go. Okay. In like my chainsaw use, right? Let me see if I can't get that up here. Oh, I got a ladder right here. Look at this. I'm going to try to zoom in here. So, Hypermax. I'm just going to move this around. Hopefully it gets it. I don't want to go back around and look at it. But under that Bauer, there's a Hypermax. That's the same as like the Milwaukee Fuel versus the regular 5-amp-hour. They're both 5-amp-hour. Hopefully you can see that. I know I'm really close, but I just want you to see it. Now, when you can, if they don't make a fuss, look for the Hypermax ones. I don't know that it's always labeled. I don't even remember how I got the Hypermax ones, but I have 2 of them out of my like 10 batteries plus, But yeah, something to look out for. And this 12-amp-hour, was $120. I'm sure if you were to buy a 12-amp-hour Milwaukee, it would be 250 plus probably. I don't even know. It's ridiculous, but on a budget, they're fantastic, and I would highly recommend it for anybody that you're not maybe. I I wouldn't even hate to use it on the job personally myself daily. I use these at home. I work with my brother-in-law. He provides tools. So, but I'm pretty confident in these things. I've used them a long time, and I've worked them hard sometimes, for long hours. And yeah, I think if you're considering a line of tools to go with, my hat is with the Bauer line. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is the Building Bugs channel, and I'm the Mexican Billy Builds It.